So for me, it all started actually while I was incarcerated, of all places. You know, God comes to those who are broken, hurting, or that are riding the quote-unquote crest of life. But for me, I was incarcerated, and God began to speak to my heart about a country called the Philippines. And at that time, I really didn't know how to take it, but I began to just pray about it and seek God on it. And He pretty much made it very clear that I would take my testimony and the word of the gospel of Christ, of the good news, to a diverse people and directly to the Philippines. And I didn't know how to take it. I was so excited. I even began to share some of these things with my friends and even my own father at one point. When I mentioned it to him, he kind of laughed it off and said, well, you're in prison, so you're surely not going to go to the Philippines because they won't let you out of here. And that's just kind of how it started. So upon my release from prison, the Philippines was placed on the back burner of my life, and God real quick brought it right back to the front, namely through a wonderful person who is now my wife, Cassie. Well, after her and I married and I moved to the Philippines, God provided and just opened doors to ministries there, through prison ministries, through children's feeding ministries, as well as certain communities and churches there in the Philippines. And so while trying to perform some of these ministries, obviously with God's help, but sort of on my own, God pressed upon my heart that ministry isn't something you do alone, and life isn't something that you do isolated. And so my wife and I began to pray and explore the thought of a home church, a home base. Where would we connect and have our roots dug into? And through much prayer and time and efforts, it came very clear that Watonga Church of the Nazarene was the place for us. And so looking into what it means to be a Nazarene person, I learned real quickly that at the foundation, at the core of who we are, we've been known for living life with open arms. And I've come to believe wholeheartedly that God is inviting us as a congregation, as a local church, to get involved in what He's doing from here all the way across to the Philippines. And so our prayer and our invitation is, would you be willing? Would you be willing to join arms with those across the world, with brothers and sisters in the Philippines, whether they're in prison, whether they're poor and hurting, or whether they're non-believers and they need the message of the cross of Christ? Are we willing to join God in what He's doing and become a missional church?